Hi, Writers. Cruz here. Thank you so much for joining me. In this Accuplacer Writeplacer video, we are going to be taking a position and arguing for or against jamming all student phones inside school buildings so that students do not have cell phone service in school. That is the topic that we have been given today. And I'm going to go ahead and set my timer and start my timer for 30 minutes, which I have done so. And we're going to write about this for 30 minutes. Please go ahead and set your timers, right, writers? Mine has already begun. And let's get started and see how many words we can come up with as we approach what I call cold topics and we see what we can come up with in a 30-minute time frame. So let's think about how we're going to definitely use the prompt to respond to the prompt. So I'm going to go ahead and copy it, and I want to include it in my essay. And I am going to argue for jamming all student phones inside school buildings so that students do not have cell phone service in school. And I'm going to go ahead and adjust the prompt a little bit. And now I'm going to go ahead and begin my argument why I think this is important in the school setting. And I was thinking, ask any parent born prior to the year. And I was trying to think, well, which parents are we talking about here? Maybe I might say like 1990, um, 2000, 2010. I think that's a safe sort of year here. Um, Ask any parent born prior to the year 2000, and I can assure you that many of them found themselves attending schools without cellular devices. Um, Ask any parent born prior to the year 2000, and I can assure you that many of them found themselves attending schools without cellular devices. Do we hear any huffing and puffing? There, that's my dog in the background. Ask any parent, specifically a German Shepherd. Ask any parent born prior to the year 2000, and I can assure you that many of them found themselves attending schools, or I just will say many of them attended schools without cellular devices. Indeed, it seems that these same parents, turned out just fine, not only in terms of safety, but in terms of learning as well. Many of these same parents turned out just fine. Or maybe that sounds a bit odd. Maybe saying something like, indeed, it seems that many of these same parents graduated. And I don't like it seems. Indeed, many of these same parents graduated. And adapted to the working world just fine. In addition, they were safe. In addition, they learned and they learned from books and computers while in school. And I think one of the biggest arguments that students use about cell phones in schools is for their safety. And so I really want to debunk that idea of safety because, again, most parents turned out not only just fine, but, were safe in the school environment. So I want to, again, address that in the body paragraph. Sure, they had the occasional fire drills. We also had, during those times, in case there was a nuclear fallout. So we sort of had these nuclear attack drills that we would have to do. So sure, they had the occasional fire and nuclear war drill. However, they managed to make their way across the stage in cap and gown with diploma in hand. Therefore, I argue for, therefore, I agree or argue that, or I agree with the position that we should jam student phones inside school buildings so students do not have cell phone service in school. Okay, now I'm going to copy this, right, writers, this introduction, and I'm going to make it my conclusion. Copy my last sentence, make it my first sentence, and I'm going to swap some things around here. Most parents born prior to the year 2000 attended schools without cellular devices. Indeed, these parents, the working world, in addition, they were safe, and exited those school buildings, those same school buildings, with diploma in hand. Okay, I like that very much. Diplomas in hand because it was they, so they plural. Therefore, I agree with the position that we should jam student phones inside school buildings so students do not have cell phone service in school. Most parents born prior to the year 2000 attended schools without cellular devices. Indeed, these parents graduated and adapted to the working world. In addition, they were safe and exited those same school buildings with diplomas in hand. I think I'm going to change this to not only were they safe, but they also exited those same school buildings with diplomas in hand. I like that much better. And now for my body paragraph with 16 minutes remaining, right, writers. Most young people argue that their phones keep them safe from harm. Keep them safe. Instant access to law enforcement and emergency services. Most young people argue that their phones keep them safe, for they provide instant access to law enforcement and emergency services. For their devices provide instant access to law enforcement and emergency services. However, the exact opposite is true. Devices, their devices serve as unhealthy distractions to the organic learning environment. Devices serve as unhealthy technological distractions. Unhealthy tech distractions to the organic learning environment. Cell phones have evolved, smartphones have evolved into addictive, junky, have evolved into addictive fodder. Trying to use a different word than fodder. Smartphones have evolved into addictive and not tool. Tool has a positive connotation, so I'm looking for something negative. I had chunky before, so I may keep that. Smartphones have evolved into addictive, junky machines. Addictive machines for junkies. Smartphones have evolved into addictive junkie machine or into addictive machines for junkies. In addition, they these devices are used to create drama, social drama, or I can say something like to create soap opera drama. In addition, these devices, I have 11 minutes remaining, right, writers. Most young people argue that their phones keep them safe for their devices provide instant access to law enforcement and emergency services. However, the exact opposite is true. Their devices serve as unhealthy tech distractions to the organic learning environment. Smartphones have evolved into addictive machines for junkies. In addition, these devices are used to create soap opera drama in the school setting, help create soap opera drama in the school setting. They, furthermore, phones record and spread. Furthermore, like viruses, phones record and spread toxicity or toxic. Furthermore, like viruses, phones record and spread toxic toxins. Furthermore, like viruses, phones record and spread toxins in what should be a cultivating Okay, really trying to think about how to put this right, writers. 7 minutes and 45 seconds remaining. Furthermore, like viruses, phones record and spread toxins in what should be, and I'm trying to think of something positive, in what should be a manicured. I was thinking of just thinking about how to, um, cultivating this garden of some sort. So, in what should be a manicured, in what should be a lush learning landscape. Furthermore, like gardens, or like viruses rather, phones record and spread toxins in what should be a lush learning landscape or learning environment. I had learning environment earlier, so I'm going to go with bountiful, a lush and bountiful landscape. Spread toxins in what should be a lush and bountiful landscape. School is a place, of course, school is a place to learn. However, it is also place to grow. However, school also provides a place to grow, where a student should grow, interact. 4 minutes and 28 seconds remaining. Of course, school is a place to learn. However, school also provides a place where students can grow as individuals, where students can build lifelong relationships, and where students can interact with individuals, where students can grow as individuals, where students can build lifelong relationships, and where students can act with others both like and unlike them. Even the word kindergarten implies such a space. Or Garten in German means garden, and correct me if I'm wrong, right, writers, and Kinder means, and I think I'll say this, even the German word kindergarten implies such a space, for Garten means garden, and Kinder means children. Indeed, school is a garden of children. School is a garden of children. Or even a children's garden. But what school is not is a garden full of cellular devices, of mechanical devices, or mechanical appendages. But what school is not is a garden full of mechanical, I think I like the word devices, is not a garden full of mechanical devices 25 seconds remaining, right, writers? Even the German word kindergarten implies such a space. For Garten means garden, and Kinder means children. Indeed, school is a garden of children, or even a children's garden. But what school is not is a garden full of mechanical devices. Therefore, I agree with the position that we should jam student phones inside. Um, and time's up, right, writers? So I was going to put working or mechanical devices. Um, Something to that effect of because again we're jamming student phones. However, I just looked up and I saw, oh, 000 Cruz, you're done. So let me go ahead and back this up just a little bit. And right, writers, I'm going to go ahead and check our word count here and see how we did. um and I think I missed, oh no, okay, I did not miss a period. I was gonna be like, no, I missed a period at the end. But I think I'm good. So let's take a look at the word count. And we are at 330 words. I am impressed with this word count. So I've been wanting to break 300 in 30 minutes, and it seems that I have done that. Let's go ahead and take it from the top with the first paragraph. Ask any parent born prior to the year 2000, and I can assure you that many of them attended schools without cellular devices. Indeed, many of these same parents graduated and adapted to the working world just fine. In addition, they learned from books, computers, and teachers while in school. Plus, they were safe. Sure, they had the occasional fire and nuclear war drill. However, they managed to make their way across the stage in cap and gown with diploma in hand. Therefore, I agree with the position that we should jam student phones inside school buildings so students do not have cell phone service in school. I appreciate the imagery that I used within this particular paragraph. If I had to make a pretty strong critique here, I feel like there's a little bit of a jump between this sentence right here and the sentence before, the body paragraph. There should maybe have been another transition, because we go from cap and gown to immediately jamming student cell phones. um, I should have placed something right here. So again, right, writers, that would definitely be a critique that I would make, that I should have included a transition sentence between these two sentences. Moving on to the next paragraph. Most young people argue that their phones keep them safe, for their devices provide instant access to law enforcement and emergency services. However, the exact opposite is true. Their devices serve as unhealthy tech distractions to the organic learning environment. Smartphones have evolved into addictive machines for junkies. In addition, these devices help create soap opera drama in the school setting. Furthermore, like viruses, phones record and spread toxins in what should be a lush and bountiful landscape. Of course, school is a place to learn. However, school also provides a place where students can grow as individuals, where students can build lifelong relationships, and where students can interact with others both like and unlike them. Even the German word kindergarten implies such a space, for Garten means garden and Kinder means children. Indeed, school is a garden of children, or even a children's garden. But what school is not is a garden full of mechanical devices. Okay, I got to say I'm really happy about this body paragraph. I feel pretty strongly about it. I just have one little hiccup that I noticed as I was reading it aloud, that I should have had another transition sentence. But for the most part, I've got some similes, I've got some analogies happening here, some comparisons. I think there's a little bit of a hiccup is right here, right, writers, between these two sentences, where I say their devices serve as unhealthy tech distractions to the organic learning environment. Smartphones have evolved into addictive machines for junkies. I could have either added a transition word or maybe said something about the learning environment, but I immediately go into how these are addictive machines. And I just feel like I really should have maybe added a sentence between those two particular sentences for flow sake or flow's sake. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to the conclusion. Therefore, I agree with the position that we should jam student phones inside school buildings. So students do not have cell phone service in school. Most parents born prior to the year 2000 attended schools without cellular devices. Indeed, these parents graduated and adapted to the working world. Not only were they safe, but they also exited those same school buildings with diplomas in hand. Okay, the other issue that I might say, right, writers, is I really mentioned this idea of diplomas in hand, but in the body paragraph, nowhere in the body paragraphs do I discuss diplomas and graduating on time. That topic just is not mentioned in the body paragraph. So I definitely think I would have points taken off for that. I believe I would definitely have points taken off between these two sentences in this transition right here in the introduction. And I definitely foresee points taken off between in transition or for flow between these two sentences. However, that said, right, writers, I am pleased with the transition words. I have indeed, I have therefore, I use conjunctions. I have however up here. I have furthermore. Again, I have in addition. I have the word indeed, one of my favorites. However, again, therefore, plus up here, indeed up here. I mean, no doubt this essay is riddled with transition words. And again, main concern here is this idea of, graduating with diplomas. The body paragraph does not really discuss that. I could have, again, perhaps focused on this idea of the garden and use that to help build my introduction and my conclusion. But the way I worked the essay, this is just what I created. And again, right, writers, that's part of the experience of writing cold. Of course, we can always go back and say, "Oh, I should have done that." And I definitely should have done this. But, as they say, hindsight is 2020, and you can't go back and you can't fix it. We only have one go at it. And hopefully, the go that you have at it is the one that gets you across that finish line. So I hope this video was helpful and useful, right, writers? Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for subscribing to this channel. And thank you for recommending this channel or these videos to other individuals who may need some writing help or who may have this, writing experience with me where they go, okay, it's not so bad. I can do this if she can do this. Thank you again. Have a great rest of your week. That's so hard to say sometimes, right, writers? Have a great rest of your week. I will see you again next Tuesday. Love you guys. Take care. Bye bye.